Hi, and welcome to another exciting episode of Chit Chat. Today, we're going to be talking about kegs and eggs, and how even after 2 or 3 weeks, everybody is still kind of freaking out about it. I mean, did you guys see the videos and stuff that they had online from that day?
Yeah, I saw them. They were crazy.
They were. They're everywhere.
There were people, like, jumping out of windows. I mean,
Jumping out of windows.
There were people, like, jumping off of their porch. I think my sorority sister who lives downtown, she told me, like, she looked out of her window, and she was on Western, and there were people, like, jumping off of their roof.
They were throwing, like, TVs out windows and radios.
I've seen that. That I've seen, yeah.
Do you think that, well, obviously it's giving our school a lot of bad press, but do you guys think that it's going to affect us, as even though we're only sophomores and freshmen and you're a junior?
Yeah.
So do you think it's going to affect you in the future?
Yes, and if I was a freshman or a sophomore, I would definitely think about transferring because no, jobs are like really looking at us right now, and they're just like saying, I don't want to hire you Albany student. They're just too crazy.
But I feel like Albany is like essentially a good school, you know? I feel like it is a good school, and I think we're a student at Albany, and I think we can recover from this. It's just going to take a little bit of time, you know?
I think the thing about it is, you know how, a couple years ago, like, Princeton Review or whatever called us, like, the #1 party school. It was, like, in 2004 or something. And, like, since then, that whole thing has kind of died down. So I think after, like, 1 or 2 years, this whole thing is going to kind of blow over a little bit more, and it's not going to be as serious as everybody is making it out to be right now. I think it's just because it was so recent, and because everybody refuses to drop it. Like, it's just
like as
become
we're talking about it right now.
Yeah.
Right.
Essentially we're doing bad things. But I don't know. I feel like, yeah, you're right, because people talk about it a lot, and it was a big thing. But the thing that really grinds my gears is that, like, I think they said, like, it was a group of 40 kids, and half of them weren't even from Albany. So, but we still get the connotation.
I think it was more than half of them that weren't from UAlbany, or that they didn't, they might have been, like, former UAlbany students that came here, like, they don't go here anymore. Like, I know a bunch of people that got arrested were not from our school.
Like, they had people from, like, other colleges come up, and people, like, from, you know, like, friends, they all come up for this weekend.
There were so many people on campus from different schools. Like, I must have seen at least 5 or 6 kids in the dining hall from Cornell alone. Like,
Cornell?
Yeah.
Wow.
People came up from Cornell. It was,
Yeah, like, all these other schools, and we get the blame.
Not to single you out, Cornell, but...
The only thing is that we're responsible for our guests. Like, we should be responsible for the people we invite up here.
But then, oh, sorry, keep going.
No, you can come.
But then, like, us as individuals, we're not responsible for what other people at our school are going to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, how would we, like, okay, say we were down there, and say we were, like, how would you stop a riot like that? There's nothing
Like, there's nothing you can do.
If I saw my friend going, like, at a car, I would, like...
I mean, if it's your friend, it's one thing, but at the same time, like, these people were highly intoxicated. They pretty much were blacked out. They didn't really know what they were doing. And they were, like, there were some people who had, like, branches or, like, other things in their hands, like...
Like, you don't want to get hurt in the process, you know?
Some kid fell through, like, a windshield because he was getting so aggressive. Like, you don't want to go over there and try to break that up. Even if he's your friend, like, if he's still swinging, like, you're going to get hit. It doesn't matter if...
And, like, I don't even know if the cops, did they actually intervene, or did they kind of just...
I think I remember seeing in, like, 1 or 2 of the videos, a cop, like, handcuffing someone. So I think after a while they did, but I think at first their initial thing was just, you know, wow, what's going on? We should just kind of contain this so that it doesn't spread, you know, any further.
I can't believe you really think that we should transfer.
No, just because I'm going to struggle so much to get a job after this.
You think,
just because of where I got my degree.
We should all go to Canada.
Honestly, I think the juniors and seniors and the ones who just graduated are the ones who are going to be affected the most by it, because it's still going to be closer to, you know, what, you know, when it happened.
I heard employers are asking, like, were you part of Kegs and Eggs?
Who
Like,
would say yes? Who is is that stupid? Well,
Right.
yes, I do the car.
Yeah, right. Like, I'm just saying, when people are asking
Yes,
that,
I actually attacked a car. I helped them move it into the middle of the street, and I just started
Yes, I
smashing it
flipped
with
the
my
car
face.
over.
yeah, that's why you should hire me, because I'm that awesome.
I put a bagpipe on a truck.
And you know what? I feel kind of bad for that kid because it didn't seem like he was doing anything
I
destructive.
know, I was
he was
like-
just kind of standing on. I mean, I guess he might have been the one who like incited the riot
But
because he was
how?
like getting people
Playing.
pumped up with
I
his
think he was
bagpipes.
just
but-
providing
Was he wearing a
background
skirt?
music.
He's wearing a kilt.
Okay.
I think that's very festive.
I mean, yeah, I feel like he shouldn't have been the one who was penalized for, you know, the entire riot when all he was doing was standing on top of a car playing the bagpipes. Like, obviously, he could have gotten, like, a fine or something for disturbing the peace or something like that, but he shouldn't be on, like, $35,000 bail.
Is that true?
That's what I heard.
That's- I also heard
He's
that.
facing like
I heard
a lot of felonies, and he's in a lot of trouble. And from the videos I saw, it didn't seem like he was like doing much.
Yeah.
He didn't stand on the car and say, "Let's start a riot."
Yeah.
And he was like,
He wasn't like, all right, now I'm done, let's go destroy this car that I'm standing on. And like, he's
Like I
Like,
feel
you know,
bad
in
for
those
him.
in the concerts
was
when
almost
they
like
play
he-
guitar and they smash
like,
it.
all right, go.
Smash his bagpipe.
But I saw someone take bagpipes and smash it into a car. But I don't know what video that was. I just saw
I didn't see that one.
Was he wearing a kilt?
yes.
Oh, maybe it was him.
But I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe.
It's possible.
So, yeah. I don't know. I feel like...
What are you saying?
No, I'm just thinking. I don't know if we should talk about Fountain Day. We want to talk about
I mean,
that?
I think that it's also like something else that I was really surprised about was the fact that Kegs and Eggs, like this whole thing is spreading to so many other schools.
Oh, right.
Like, there are people in other schools who are like, my friend like texted me and she was like, what went on last weekend? Why is everybody
my God.
freaking out? Like, what's with everyone's statuses? What's
That's
with
crazy.
whatever's going on? And I'm like,
But it's weird because I spoke to like my parents and they didn't hear anything about
Yeah,
it.
me neither.
It was like nothing.
That's the thing, like
Really?
Glenn Beck or something did, he's like some
Did
famous
you
like,
watch
news
it?
reporter. I didn't watch it, but
I watched it. It was
I heard he compared
terrible.
it to like what went on in Japan or
it blew
something.
my mind.
Terrible, like,
How
for
he-
us
It's
like-
or how
He
For us and how
he-
he did it.
He compared
made no
it to
sense.
Japan. He
He's
compared
like-
it to the Japanese like tsunami.
I don't think that's right, okay? Because I think there are really good, hardworking kids here that are being screwed over by this one incident,
Yeah.
and like now we're all gonna pay the consequences.
Right, because of
you
a
know?
couple of like crazy students.
The Glenn Beck thing was like he had a video of someone helping someone else in Japan, and then he had a video of the UAlbany students destroying the car, and then he was like, "Do you want to be someone who helps someone in Japan, or do you want to be a UAlbany student?"
Oh my god.
That's terrible.
I want to
God.
transfer. That's ridiculous. How about that we raise $85,000 for cancer, Glenn Beck? Yeah, what
Yeah,
the
Round of
really
applause for
fun.
that. Round of applause. That's amazing.
Like, I don't know. I feel like we do so much, but of course, bad news is gonna get more press.
Right. And the thing is, like you were saying, that because people are calling it a riot, like it really wasn't a riot. It was more just like a, like
Let's
a,
do this.
It was.
Like-
No, what were we saying we would call it? It was like
You said the word. It was a big fancy one.
I don't even know. It definitely wasn't a riot though.
Angry
It
mob.
was a couple of, it was a spectacle. That was it.
That was fancy.
Really fancy. It was, from what I'm seeing, it was like a couple of students who were involved in like the reckless stuff, and then just a bunch of other people kind of standing around
Like
being like, what's
bystanders,
going
yeah.
on? Like, oh my god. Like I keep hearing in all these videos, all I hear is, oh my god. Like what's going on?
Yeah.
What's happening? Why are they doing that? Like, most people aren't involved in the actual like reckless stuff. They're all just like taking videos of it. So you can't really call that a riot. You can call that like just destructive behavior, like gangs maybe, but like
Gangs.
I mean, if
I wouldn't want to call it that.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that either.
I think
but
that's a bad one.
But it
too.
wasn't, the thing is like, if you're talking about like, if it was like a, you know, if you're gonna classify it as a gang, it wasn't like a whole like group of students, whereas like a riot is like, oh, everybody who was there was involved in this big riot, you know?
It was just
And
a
it
lot of
wasn't.
people. That's the thing. So
There were a lot of people there, so everybody assumed that everybody was involved.
How do you feel about the moving of spring break for next year?
I'm annoyed.
actually,
Us Jews have to repeal that.
That is true.
I
Wait,
need
is
bread.
it not going to be on
It's not on
Passover?
Passover anymore.
That's a problem. What am I going to eat? Like a
Yeah,
matzah
exactly.
all day?
I think Dutch has the food for Passover, but the thing is, we'd have to go there every single day for
Wow.
For
2
every
weeks,
single
for like
meal.
2 weeks.
That's
I'll
a
make you
lot.
food.
Yeah, for every meal. It's a lot.
And like
to go to
all
lunch.
your dishes have to be like, you
Yeah.
know, different dishes, everything. It's gonna be such a hassle.
I'm not Jewish.
Me either.
Being Jewish
Yeah.
is a hassle sometimes, but it's so much easier when you're home because everything is
Yeah, already
for it
there.
anyway.
Yeah, I enjoyed St. Patrick's Day at school, but at the same time, now I can go to the parade in the city. Have you ever been to that?
No, my
No.
friend went this year though. One of my sisters
I think
went
it's
down there.
a good idea because it shows that they care and that they're doing something about it, which is also
Yeah.
why I agree with his decision to cancel Fountain Day.
Which we can get back to
Oh, sorry.
after break.
Skipping a little bit.
We'll be back soon.
Fountain Day, 2011. It was supposed to be the last Fountain Day for, I think, 3 years.
Here we are at the very scene of the controversy, the fountain. We're out on the podium to get some interviews of some people and see what they think about Kegs and Eggs Fountain. And do you think that the president was legitimate in canceling Fountain Day?
I don't think it was right. I understand what happened with Kegs and Eggs, and I understand that he wants to, you know, put some type of stop to what's going on, but if he wasn't legitimate, Fountain Day has nothing to do with Kegs and Eggs. It was like 100 people, and like only like 10 or 20 kids were from our actual school.
I'm a little depressed about it, to be honest. I mean, like, the whole school's getting penalized for a group of stupid kids that just decided to go party hardy and then just really ruin everything for everyone.
I guess it's kind of understandable in a couple ways because we have a really good reputation here. Well, we've come to a good reputation from what, all the rumors from the past about the biggest party school, and things like Kegs and Eggs really ruin us, and they make us look really bad, and they blame it all on the SUNY system. They don't blame it on private colleges around the area like St. Rose or Siena. It's all about the SUNY kids, and so I feel like this way was them canceling Fountain Day was a way to like retaliate against the system and say that we really are, a prestigious college, we're a good college, and we're trying to show that we're not going to let things like Kegs and Eggs, and us being a big party school, stand in the way of a reputation.
Fountain guy is pretty weird. I've seen his YouTube videos eating tampons, and word on the street is he just got expelled by the university, but it's just a rumor. Don't know what's true or not.
I've seen him in action, and I've seen all his videos on YouTube. He's really interesting. I don't like him. He's weird.
For the Fountain guy, I actually have a lot of respect for him. He's standing up for something that's important to the school, the Fountain. I feel like the Fountain brings a lot of life and vitality to this campus, and it's important. Someone standing up for it is great.
Do you feel that his methods are effective?
It's hard to battle such a large institution as the administration on this campus, so I just appreciate his effort more.
At first, when I saw his video, I thought he was like, I felt good that he was doing the whole fountain thing. I thought, he was standing up for his cause. But then when I saw the tampon video, I didn't. That's it. It was too bad. I don't want him to be here, getting negative attention for the school.
That his way of protesting was an effective way?
If he followed through with it, yeah. If he had stayed the whole weekend and really put his foot down, but he kind of copped out a little bit by leaving early, so no, probably not that effective.
You're eating something that's not even a hunger strike then. You're putting something in your stomach. How is that a hunger strike? You're still eating and consuming something. You shouldn't have eaten anything.
All right, any words for the Fountain Man if he's watching?
Yeah, keep up the good work, dude. I'm proud of you. It's nice.
What brand of tampons do you think he consumes?
I don't even know what type of brands there are.
Get Fountain Day back. I'm a senior.
Hello, and welcome back to Chit Chat. Our Fountain Day discussion will begin
right now. So let me ask you guys, what do you think about the cancellation of Fountain Day based on Kegs and Eggs?
Well, at first I was like really upset, but now I really understand why it was done.
How was Fountain Day? You've been to 2 of them. Who was before Florida?
I don't think we had one because we had Park Fest our freshman year, so it wasn't
A
combined.
musical thing?
Right. Somebody was telling me
That was me.
that it was always no. Was it you?
Yeah.
That it was always separate.
No, that wasn't
It wasn't. That's what I thought.
No, but
Somebody was telling me that it was always separate. Like they would have a performer at Park Fest, and then Fountain Day was like a separate event. Like they never had anybody perform. It was usually just everybody kind of gathered, played games and did like whatever, those little booths that they had around the fountain, and then just went into the fountain when they turned it on.
But we're still having a Park Fest this year, right?
Right.
yeah.
Right.
But
so
that moment, it was like
Yeah, it's
freaking
just so
New
exciting.
Year's. Like everyone's like, oh, everyone's in love, everyone's united.
in
like-
love. You can find your love at the fountain.
Yes! It was great. It was a great time. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Honestly, I think that it doesn't bug me so much that he canceled Fountain Day because I kind of understand with like what the reputation of that day is. Like people, it's true, like people do get drunk before they go to Fountain Day and they go and like they're like really reckless. Like people were throwing flip-flops at people's heads.
Yeah.
Like I've heard people had to go to the hospital, like a kid like died or something one year
No
or
way.
something.
What? No,
Something
I don't think-
happened one year. Something
I know
really
people
bad
get
happened one
hurt.
year.
No, in 2004 they had like a lot of ambulances come to the school, then they died. Then they died the Fountain Green, and it was like that's
Yeah,
why
it
it's so
was-
strict now.
Yeah. So, like, I do understand why they would want to cut out some kind of event like that that's, like, really crazy and reckless that they can't really moderate. But at the same time, I don't think that they should not turn on the fountain at all. Maybe not that day because people are going to be expecting it to turn on that day. But they should be turning it on. I mean, I think it's one of those, like, huge symbols of our school. And, like, everybody enjoys hanging out there. And it's just going to take away from the atmosphere so much.
It makes the school look pretty. That's
Yeah,
for sure.
I think
It
that
definitely
they're afraid
does.
that if it's on, then people are gonna.
Make their own fountain day on that day. You're gonna get a text from like Joe. Hello, guess what? The fountain's on it. You're gonna see everyone like come.
But, I mean, at the same time...
I don't know.
She's at the same time, though, you're also, like, they might turn it on the day that you have classes or something. They can have, like, they can make sure that not too many people are going in there or whatever, as opposed to if they turned it on Fountain Day when, like, everybody's probably going to be sitting there anyway, like, having their little protests or rallies or whatever.
That would be so funny if everyone's like sitting there and then they just turn it on.
Surprise!
That'd be great. No, but I think that it's a bad decision to. Whoa! Ooh, I have a good question. Do you think that they're gonna have
Don't
more?
finish your sentence, no video.
Do you think that there's gonna be more riots by students because of this? Do you think it'll be more out of hand just because they're restricting Fountain Day? If they just, let's say, if they let Fountain Day go along as if nothing happened, as opposed to now, do you think kids are gonna revolt?
I think people have calmed down since we found out the news.
Definitely.
But like that first day, it
Oh
was
my
like
God.
on Facebook riot in Fountain, let's go, everyone.
People
Yeah.
are more chill about it. They're like, all right, like, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah,
we still have
they-
Park
really not.
Fest. We
They-
still have our lives.
I feel like
we're still alive.
people kind of understand. They're also worried about, like, the reputation. Like, obviously the seniors probably want it back, like, because it's, like, their last year that they can have it. And also, like, the fountain's going under construction for 2 years now. So, like,
We're not gonna have any more.
we're not going to have any more.
No.
Unless we come back as alumni and sneak in.
I think they should allow alumni to come back if
At
that's
least
what
from
they're
the last
doing.
2 years.
I mean,
Right.
yeah, it's,
Like, if-
obviously you can't let, like, every alumni come back, but if you had it, like, moderated to
I
a
wouldn't want to
certain
come
amount
back.
of
All my
years.
friends are gone. What do I want to come back for?
You can come back
Meaning
with
like
your friends.
let's say the
like
junior
your year.
class.
Yeah.
Like your class can come back.
Like your class year would come back.
You'd be able to come
I
back
thought
with
we were
me.
gonna have one. Who are you? Who are you? I thought we were gonna have one senior year.
Nope, they're constructing it for 2 years. And knowing the school, it's probably going to be more than
Like
2 years.
5 years.
I can't say anything. I don't know. I've only been here for a little bit.
I mean, well, you saw how long it took them with the campus center.
It turned out nice. So.
Yeah.
Okay, now to my favorite discussion. the Fountain Man.
Dum dum dum.
We actually went looking for him
We
today.
went looking for him.
And he wasn't in the fountain.
Yeah. So your protest is not
Not
all right,
solid.
I have to be objective. That's what I told you, and I'm failing.
No, I gotta say, you can, yeah. Honestly, I think that his idea was good, but the way that he's been executing it has not been so solid.
Have you guys seen his YouTube video?
Nope.
I
You should
refuse.
watch. No, you should watch it. You should get the background info about how this guy is.
I know what he's doing though, and the fact he's eating crayons and tampons, and it's just ridiculous.
But his whole
what point is he trying to prove
exactly.
with that?
And his whole thing is, I'm a veteran, so this will work.
Yeah,
I don't see that.
I don't see where that logic came from.
Like, I wouldn't follow someone who eats tampons. I don't know. It's just like a thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't follow people who do like, really weird things. Like,
the other thing that like bugs me about it, not only was he like really odd and eating strange things that
He left them there.
he said he was gonna be on a hunger strike and then ate like
He
weird
left. There were
friggin'
tampons
food.
in the
There were
fountain. We
tampons
saw
still
them.
sitting in the fountain.
If I ate tampons, would you be my friend?
No. And I definitely wouldn't be your friend if you left them around school.
like I think he's totally going about it the wrong way completely. Like, I understand like signing a petition or like talking in a formal way, but no, he's doing it wrong.
And his whole thing is riding on the fact that he is so important, so people will do what he says.
And it's not even only that, but he's also assuming, like, he's saying, like, oh, I'm going to stay in the fountain until you listen to me. But he's been up and out of the fountain. I mean,
he wasn't
he
there. We
wasn't
looked
in-
for you.
he
Your
wasn't-
protest is failing.
He wasn't in the fountain the whole time. And, like, apparently this weekend, President Phillips asked him, like, expelled him and told him to leave the fountain.
I didn't know that.
And he was not there all weekend. So,
But he
I mean,
returned on Monday. I saw him on Monday.
but the thing is
Yeah,
that if you're
I
going to
did see
do
him on
something
Monday.
like this where you're saying, I'm not leaving the fountain until you listen to me,
Stick to it.
Stick to it. Don't get out of the fountain. Like, if you're going to get out and come back, it looks even worse for you than if you would just stay in and actually, you know, have this protest.
And I think it's just making our school look like
Dumber.
yeah, it's just like decreasing. Like it's just
like,
bad.
Like, you're going on a hunger strike for a fountain.
Yeah,
man.
his thing is like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna starve until we get fountain day, and I'm thinking, you deserve to starve. It's really not that big of a deal. Like, yeah, it sucks, but can you devote your time to something? If you're gonna be this radical, you should devote your time to something that's worth it, and that really grinds my gears.
That was twice in one
My
episode.
gears
Good
are
job.
very ground.
It just doesn't make sense that he would be, you know, working this hard for something that's not. I mean,
But like, what about
you're
budget
40!
cuts? I don't see him
That's
doing
all
that for
everyone's
budget
getting
cuts.
upset that
Exactly.
nobody protested budget cuts, but we're all getting so hyped
I mean,
about
there have been rallies
Fountain
for
Day.
budget cuts and stuff, and people will go out for like a half an hour and be like, woohoo, budget cuts, but
Right, but I don't see any craziness.
I don't see
like,
anybody being like this avid about it. And it's annoying because honestly, that's what we should be focusing on right now. If somebody's going to go camp out in the fountain, it shouldn't be over Fountain Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be about something important like our education. You know,
Yeah.
I definitely agree.
I don't know, this guy. I'd really like to speak to him. If you're watching this, which you're
Come
not.
speak to us.
Come find us.
Come find us.
If you see us on campus, say hey.
And like, he's married. Like, what is your
With
wife?
children, right?
Yeah.
Oh my
Do you
God.
eat your wife's tampons?
Probably.
I don't understand.
Did you see him on Monday? He was just walking around.
With a huge sign.
animal?
He was doing it like during all my morning class. I'm like, how many miles has he walked?
Exercise.
And he was holding that huge sign too. It must have been awesome.
I should have read it. What it said.
No, eventually he gave up on the sign and put it like right
Yeah,
in
he
the
put
middle
it in
of
the
the
yeah, I
Yeah.
saw that, and then I didn't see him in the afternoon. He just left the sign in the middle of the fountain.
Yeah.
He was laying there and
I'm
yelling.
telling you, like he wants to stay there all the time, and then he just gets up and walks around as he pleases, and it makes it look so bad because it. For one thing, it's obviously like we were saying, it's not that important. But if you're gonna make it seem like it's that big of a deal,
Don't be so
you don't back
wishy-washy.
out on that.
Stick with it, bro. Yeah, I don't know.
But we could out fountain you.
Like, oh my god. And you're not even a student.
I mean,
No,
No,
he
he
was
is
a
a
student.
He's
Well,
a
I mean, like,
student.
a
Not
student,
anymore.
like we're young and we want to have
Reckless.
fountain.
Yeah, right.
You're
Like we're
40.
young and crazy, and like we can
Like,
like
go back to the
enjoy
war.
like the craziness of that day. But I don't know. What is he gonna? He's
Was he
alumni
here
aren't
last
even
year?
allowed to, like. What?
Was he here last year?
I don't know.
Has he ever seen a fountain?
I don't know if he's ever seen a fountain.
Oh my god.
But I mean, what is he going to do? Take his kids there and like throw them in the middle of the fountain? They'll get trampled.
How old are his kids?
I don't know.
They're not even allowed to go.
Well, this is our very passionate Fountain Day discussion.
There you go.
And we'd like to thank Monica only for sending in her opinion because nobody else did. And that's it for today.
I'm Jenny.
I'm Ashley.
I'm Kaylee.
And I'm Nicole.
Stay classy.
See you next week.